Thank you for joining us. Our event will begin shortly. This video contains pre-recorded content. FranU encourages everyone to wear masks, wash your hands, and to practice responsible social distancing in response to COVID-19. Thank you for joining us. Our event will begin shortly. This video contains pre-recorded content. FranU encourages everyone to wear masks, wash your hands, and to practice responsible social distancing in response to COVID-19. Thank you for joining us. Our event will begin shortly. This video contains pre-recorded content. FranU encourages everyone to wear masks, wash your hands, and to practice responsible social distancing in response to COVID-19. Thank you for joining us. Our event will begin shortly. This video contains pre-recorded content. FranU encourages everyone to wear masks, wash your hands, and to practice responsible social distancing in response to COVID-19. Thank you for joining us. Our event will begin shortly. This video contains pre-recorded content. FranU encourages everyone to wear masks, wash your hands, and to practice responsible social distancing in response to COVID-19.
If nothing else this year, COVID-19 has shown us what happens when real people, dedicated, driven individuals, using all their knowledge and grit, doing what needs to be done, even without relief or rest. Press on day after day, case after case, patient after patient, caring, comforting those in need. These real people reach deep down. They respond, help, and provide. They use the tools and education they have learned to get their job done. They are prayed for, smiled upon, thanked. These men and women are legendary, often admired for their achievements. Unwavering character, noble courage, and indomitable spirit. They are our healthcare heroes.
Please welcome Mistress of Ceremonies for Fête des Fidèles Goes Virtual, Sylvia Weatherspoon. Sylvia is an award-winning news journalist for WBRZ News 2. She delivers the news and spotlights people in the community on To Make a Difference. Sylvia is an inspirational speaker and writer with a focus on faith, and she is an accomplished voiceover artist. She has been cast as a TV news anchor in several movies, including the box office hit Pitch Perfect 2. Please welcome Sylvia Weatherspoon.
Welcome and thank you for joining us as we come to you live from the campus of Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady University for the annual Fête des Fidèles Goes Virtual, presented by Coleman Partners Architects LLC and Iberia Bank First Horizon. I'm Sylvia Weatherspoon, the evening anchor at WBRZ News 2, your mistress of ceremonies for our event tonight. This year, the Fête des Fidèles, or Feast of the Faithful, has gone virtual due to COVID-19. We are so glad that you've joined us. As in years past, tonight's event will celebrate 97 years of Franciscan servant leadership. This year, we have the privilege to honor healthcare heroes who have been on the front lines of the pandemic. Tonight's event also includes a live rushing to see if you are the winner of one of our 3 great prizes. All proceeds from this event will go towards student scholarships at FranU. We'd also love to hear from our viewers joining in tonight, so please leave a comment on Facebook. Let us know that you are enjoying the event. We have a wonderful program for you, so without further ado, grab a drink, some snacks, sit back as we begin our program.
Whole FranU community, we would like to thank all of our sponsors who have helped in making this virtual event possible tonight. You are the you in FranU.
Tonight, we're joined by the President and CEO of Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady University, Dr. Tina Holland. Dr. Holland, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
So for our viewers who are new to this event, tell us a little bit about FranU and the mission.
Well, to tell you about FranU, we've got to talk about the mission, because that's really the best way to describe a mission-centered institution like FranU. Our mission is to educate and form Franciscan servant leaders of all faiths, and we do so by preparing them to be, of course, highly skilled professionals. That goes without saying. But also what distinguishes us is that we also prepare them to be integrated thinkers, which means that they know how to make connections, they know how to solve problems, they know how to think creatively and resourcefully. And then we also prepare them to be faith-filled citizens, which means that they're reminded regularly that they're part of something bigger than themselves, that they are there to serve the needs of others, and through that build up the society and contribute to meeting the needs of those most in need.
So what you're saying is they're very well-rounded.
Yes, yes they are.
How has the FranU responded to the challenges of COVID-19? It's a two-part question. Also, how does FranU prepare healthcare heroes like the ones that we are honoring tonight?
Well, the second part kind of answers the first part. We responded to COVID by really doing what we do, which is to prepare healthcare heroes, to prepare those who are going to fill a need in the community, especially when we were facing such a shortage in staffing during the pandemic. So we were able to doubled down on our teaching and learning, and the students and faculty worked very hard, especially in the School of Nursing and in Respiratory Therapy, so that we could graduate the spring students several weeks early and get into the field and answer that call to respond to the shortage. And they all went immediately to work after completing all of the requirements for school, I think about 6 weeks early, and then all of them passed their licensure exams 100% on the first shot.
How amazing and wonderful to be able to have your students representing and playing such a crucial, vital role in this pandemic.
Well, we're very proud of that, but that's why we exist. You know, we grew from that, from the Our Lady of the Lake School of Nursing, and as needs increased, we did what we could to meet the needs of the community, and we continue to do that whenever needs arise. If it fits within our mission, we're going to do what we can.
One last question. Tell us why tonight's event, Fête des Fidèles, is so important.
It's so important because, one, it's an opportunity to recognize our own, who are such sources of pride for us, our two honorees, and we can celebrate together. And two, it's important to us because it is our signature fundraising event, and all of the funds go to funding and supporting scholarships for worthy students. And so they're really, this event is to support the education of future healthcare heroes.
All right, thank you so much. We thank you, Dr. Holland, for joining us this evening, and thank you also for the incredible work that you and the staff at FranU are doing for our community. For more information, please visit franu.edu/Fête to support the work FranU is doing to educate our future healthcare heroes. Welcome back. Dr. Holland and I are joined by special guest Wally, FranU's mascot, for our first raffle drawing of the night. Tonight's first drawing of the night was graciously donated by Dr. Redfield and Mrs. Carol Ann Bryan and Mr. Joe and Mrs. Paula Melanson. It is 18 bottles of wine from their private reserves worth over $1,500. I'm hearing a woo-woo in the background. What a surprise, and a great prize, I should say. Can't wait to see who the lucky winner of this amazing prize will be. So Dr. Holland, if you will do the honors, pull a name as Wally turns that wheel, and then I will announce the winner. Here we go. Hot out the hopper. The winner is Brother Edward Violet. The excitement builds. Congratulations, Brother Edward Violet. You are the lucky winner of the wine cachet. You've got lots of folks over here who are willing to, more than happy to help you consume it. A representative from FranU will be calling you tomorrow for details on claiming your prize. All donations and raffle ticket purchases made for this year's event support student scholarships. The funds that we are raising throughout tonight's event are helping support students who in turn will become our future healthcare heroes, like FranU alumni Kristen Gradney.
Kristen Gradney is Senior Director of Operations at Our Lady of the Lake Children's Health and supports health centers and schools and Goodwood Pediatric Clinics. She has led COVID testing efforts in the community and at Our Lady of the Lake Physicians Group. She obtained a BA in Sociology in 2001 and a BS in Nutritional Science in 2007 from Louisiana State University. In 2016, she obtained a Master of Health Administration from Our Lady of the Lake College, now FranU. She dedicated her time outside of service at Our Lady of the Lake to work on mentoring healthcare professionals and diversifying the profession of nutrition and dietetics. Take a look as we learn more about Kristen Gradney, this year's Alumni Healthcare Hero.
I am from Opelousas, Louisiana, very small town, grew up on a crawfish farm, and went to college here in Baton Rouge, went to LSU, and became a registered dietitian about 12 years ago. There are so many people and so many things that really continue to inspire me every single day. You know, I look at the leaders that I serve side by side with, and they are still out there pushing and inspiring me to be, you know, a leader for my team and for the community. So I'm surrounded by great people, great mentors, but most importantly, my family. You know, I talk to my mom and my dad every day on my way home from work, and they feel me. And then when I walk through the door and my kids are there excited to see me, you know, and asking me about my day, they know what I do, they know about COVID, so they ask every day. You know, that puts things in perspective. Hearing that term, you know, healthcare hero, sounds surreal. It doesn't feel like it's me. It's okay. It just doesn't feel like it's me. It feels like it's, you know, the people who are out there on the front lines every day. When you think about when you come to work and you're just doing the work that you're called to do, it doesn't feel like you're being a hero. There are a lot of mistakes that I've made. I'm sure if you asked my team today, they'd say 100 things that we could have done better. So you always think, you know, hero is really reserved for a very small group of people who, you know, who are doing things that other people couldn't do. And you feel like you just are doing the work you're called to do and making mistakes and living through it every day.
If you look at what the word hero means, a hero fights for everyone. So we need more heroes out there.
Kristen is so deserving of this Healthcare Hero Award. When I read the call for nominations and I read the criteria for the Healthcare Hero Award, I immediately thought of Kristen. She has just been a force to reckon with. She's been a leader in this organization. She has a desire to help those most in need, and I think it's her call, her inherent call to service those most in need, to speak up for those who cannot speak up, and to really serve her community is why I thought that Kristen is so deserving of this award. I thought a lot about Kristen's journey and where she started and where she is today within our organization, and I truly feel that it has been a calling from God to place her in the position that she is today. I think what drives Kristen, she's a very faith-filled woman. She is a devout Catholic, and I think that is at the center of her being. She always puts God first, and she always lives through that mission. I also think that another source of inspiration for her to keep going is her family. She has a very devout husband. She has 2 small, beautiful children, and she knows that she needs to be a role model for her children, and she needs to be a support system for her family, and she really is the glue that holds her family together. She's selfless. She always serves those most in need. She's always thinking about others. She always puts others first. She has persevered through this trying time, and yes, she has put in long days, long hours. You know, in times of when there's obstacles placed in front of her, she can push through those obstacles. You're a superwoman. How do you do it all? And she said, you know, Catherine, I never say no. I never say no because I always think that might be an opportunity to lead me to do good and to be better. And I think that is really what sets Kristen apart, and also our students and our alumni apart.
So in times of crisis, I think, you know, you just jump up and you do what you feel is what you're called to do. And at the moment, I was called to do 2 things. I was called to find work for the people who rely on me as their leader to make sure that they can go home and feel good about what they've done today and know that they have a job to come to every day. And then the second thing was there was a community need. You know, there were people who needed to be tested. We didn't know what we were getting into, and we just jumped in. And I say we because it's really a team. You know, I just opened the doors and removed the barriers for all the people who stepped out there and were really on the front lines. And yeah, I was out there on the front lines because I would never ask my team members to do something that I wouldn't do. So I was out there with them, and, you know, just to see people out there who have never done this type of work before, who were school nurses, used to seeing children every day, you know, who work in clinics with kids, to be out there doing COVID tests and, you know, out on the front lines. There was no reason why I wouldn't be out there to support them and to continue that work for our community.
Kristen's ability to work outside of, you know, what you would conventionally think of as your job description, and improve the lives of those in our community, improve the healthcare environment for healthcare workers, to set up screening stations almost on a moment's notice, do it in a way that protected our healthcare team and provided for the community is you know, extraordinary to me. And I know Kristen will say that it takes a team, but I tell you, her leadership has made a huge difference for our organization and community.
Kristen is one that she's very observant. She's a quiet force, is how I would put that. She's very observant. She looks around, sees what the needs are, and then tries to envision how are we as a ministry going to fulfill that need. She advocated on behalf of her team. If there is a need for testing, we have people who can do that. She rallied them. It was scary in the first days about going out and do mass testing and, you know, testing people in cars. Yet she chose the clinicians in health centers and schools that were comfortable in doing nasopharyngeal swabs, and then the rest of the team to support that process. So she very much attached herself to the process, identified what the needs were, and then how do we rally resources to answer the question. And they have continued to still serve in that role today, and then building a case for support on how this is a sustainable approach, and let's just jump in and let's do what we got to do. It won't be perfect, but she is one that has never let perfection stand in the way of goodness.
FranU has prepared me in so many ways. One is just, you know, going to a university that has mission and values that align with the work that I do and see every single day. Again, being a servant leader is at the core of everything that we have done. And being able to have a program that not only teaches me the nuts and bolts of how to be a leader, but teaches me compassion and, you know, how to serve those that are around me is really important.
Kristen is always full of ideas and thoughts on how can we be innovative and take care of those who are most in need, who may be remote from us. That's always at her core. And again, it's something you see. She doesn't necessarily come out and say. You can just see it in her actions. And that's, you know, again, what I've seen in many different scenarios with Kristen.
She's an extremely competent young woman with a great amount of innate abilities. Her family have shaped who she is coming into the healthcare profession, how she continued to grow and to put herself in positions to remove barriers. Going to FranU and getting an MHA, a Master's in Healthcare Administration, was all about removing any potential barriers to how she could make a bigger or a broader impact on a national level. In her work through advocating for better nutrition and healthier lifestyles at the national level. So doing the hard work is not something that she shies away from. And that's what she was taught by her parents. And they continue to shape and mold her life and her service mentality. And so working with her as a mentor, one of the things that I appreciate most about Kristen is her, I want to do this myself. And then the recognition of, I can't do it myself. And so that humility when we realize that we really do need other people to help us to to help shape, mold, coach us. That humility is what I appreciate about her. She's very strong, she's very resilient, and she's very committed to doing, the right thing at the right time for the right reason. And then when she realizes, okay, I need some more guidance, that's what keeps me engaged with her, because she truly is an open book to explore how she herself can continue to grow.
She has been such an inspiration to me. I want to tell her how much she has inspired me through the years, how much she has led me and inspired me on my own career journey and my own career path. I want to tell her that she has pushed me outside of my own box to really self-reflect and dig deep down on what's most important to me and what I believe in, So I want to tell Kristen how so proud I am of her, and that she's been a mentor and a true inspiration for me over the years. And I'm just, thank God every day that I have met Kristen, that she's a part of my life, not only in my professional life, but also my personal life. I truly think of her as a dear friend, and I'm just so blessed to have her in my life.
Kristen's ability to kind of rally people around her and show them the way. I've seen that in many, many different scenarios where we've worked together. Healthcare centers and schools, that team, they provide healthcare to those most in need. And that team has really invested in Kristen, because she is truly a servant leader. St. Francis says, preach the gospel always and speak when you need to. And I think Kristen is one of those people that can show by example. So it doesn't surprise me, actually, that she's been able to pivot and do something very, very different than the normal environment and lead a team in that direction. She's kind of what I would call a fearless learner. In many different scenarios, she's been able to take on something that you would think that she didn't have a great deal of experience with or a knowledge base in, master the concepts well, and move things forward. So I really respect Kristen for that, and it's a huge attribute for her. She feeds on the energy around her, and you would never tell in talking with her that she is juggling as many things as she is. You certainly wouldn't be able to tell in the quality of her work. She is somebody that you can count on, and if she has an item, she delivers. And so to a certain extent, I think I know where some of that energy comes from, but to another extent, it's a little bit unknown to me, and I wish she would tell me so that I could get some of it. Yes, I think leadership's about doing big things and showing people the way, but it's also about how you make people feel and having them work at their highest level and be their best. And I think Kristen really does that well. This is a great award, but you know that every day you do things that make us all proud and show us the way. And you may not think of it in that moment, but you've been a mentor to many, many people, and you've helped a lot of people see the right way. I think about another quote that is often attributed to St. Francis, and I think applies to Kristen. First do what's necessary, then do what's possible, then you're doing the impossible. And Kristen shows us that.
When I think about young people who are starting their career in healthcare right now, it's probably a pretty scary time, a lot of uncertainty, but really, grab this opportunity and recognize here's your time to step out into the world and make a difference and really help all of our community get through this, whether it's through being a finance person, being an operations person like me, or really just, even if you're on the front lines of healthcare and go back to that, being a leader in healthcare right now is more important than any other time. It's our duty to take care of each other, that brotherhood, that sisterhood. And I thank you for the honor. Regardless if it feels like I'm a hero or not, I'm grateful that someone thinks of me in that way, and I'm just grateful and hope that I can continue to live up through it throughout my career.
My message to you is to take days like today that are very positive and build your spirit with that. Fortify your armor that you're going to need, because you're a change agent, and change comes at a cost. And so When you begin to doubt yourself or you begin to feel marginalized, this armor will help move you forward to do what it is that you know that you need to do. Not everyone gets invited into this sort of dance. You're here today. I hope you dance.
Wow, wasn't that outstanding? I am so pleased and honored to be joined back on the stage by Dr. Tina Holland and award recipient Christian Gradney. Dr. Holland.
Yes, it is my, yes. Well, it's with Franciscan joyfulness of spirit that I present to you this award for the Alumni Healthcare Hero, and you do make us proud. I absolutely love to see our graduates in the community doing such wonderful things. So thank you so much for being FranU.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this award, and it means so much to me. In such a time of uncertainty, I am blessed to be able to work in an organization that honors our commitment to the community, and being blessed to work with a team and people who are also so committed to serving those who are most in need has been such an honor for me. So I thank you for this. I thank you to my family, especially my husband, who has supported me through this crazy time of long hours and dedication and really being committed to the mission as much as I am. So thank you to everyone, especially FranU, who has prepared me for this day, but especially to all those who serve with me, aside me, and in this mission. So thank you.
Congratulations, Kristen. And to support future FranU alumni like Kristen, visit our website at www.franu.edu/Fête and make a gift in her honor. Welcome back. Wally and I are joined by alumni healthcare hero Christian Gradney for our second raffle drawing of the night. The second raffle of the night is the vacation package graciously donated by Mid-City Title. It is a 4-day, 3-night stay at Portofino Island Resort in Pensacola, Florida. It's valued at $2,500. What a prize. I cannot wait to see who the lucky winner of this amazing prize will be. Christian, if you will do the honors and pull a name as Wally turns that wheel, and I will announce the winner. All right, and the winner of this fabulous vacation package is Frank Bro. Frank Bro, congratulations. You're the lucky winner. A representative from FranU will be calling you tomorrow for details on claiming your prize. All gifts and raffle ticket purchases made to this year's event support student scholarships, which mean more now than ever before. The funds we are raising throughout tonight's event support our future healthcare heroes who are making an impact in our communities, like our next honoree, Dr. Catherine O'Neill.
Dr. Catherine O'Neill is the Chief Medical Officer at Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center and an assistant professor of clinical medicine at LSU Health Sciences Center, Baton Rouge. Dr. O'Neill is a graduate of LSU Medical School in New Orleans, and she completed her fellowship in adult infectious disease at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. She is one of the Gulf Coast's premier experts on infectious disease and has been a go-to source each year for business leaders and our local community during flu season. And now, in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's watch as we learn more about Dr. Catherine O'Neill, this year's Franciscan Impact Healthcare Hero.
I'm just a kid from a small town. My dad was a farmer when I was young. My mom's a nurse. They talked a lot about healthcare at the dinner table every night. So I think that healthcare's always been a part of my life. I wanted to be a teacher though. I went into college saying I want to be a teacher. In fact, I remember one of my aunts said, "Stop saying that." She said, "Your grades are too good, you need to find something else to do." Went to medical school thinking continuously that at some point I'm going to focus on teaching. And I think with infectious diseases, so much of our time with the patient is teaching life skills. When you get an infection, you have either gotten that infection from something that needs to be corrected as part of your life skills, or you have to manage the infection in a way that changes your life. And so it was very attractive to me because of the amount of patient time that you have, and a lot of that patient time is teaching. I found a great job with LSU when we came back from fellowship, and so that worked out. So I'm able to teach residents, I'm able to teach my patients, and then as I became more involved at the lake, it's really been a great opportunity to also teach a whole nother segment of healthcare, which is our nursing staff, our respiratory therapists. It really combining all of that into one big fun educational program, right? So I love my job, I love infectious diseases, but really I love teaching. When you say healthcare heroes to me, I immediately have a vision in my head of what that means. It goes all the way from the office to the bedside. It's a person who steps up when you need them to take care of somebody who's ill. But it's the person who says, I want to help that person. You are a hero. Not everybody wants to step up and help. And the people that we've seen in this pandemic, and honestly the people that we see every day in healthcare, are the people called to the mission of stepping up and helping those people who most need us.
Dr. O'Neill is just so deserving of the award because of the leadership qualities that she has demonstrated.
You know, there's a reason why God puts people in places and timing of things. And right after we've asked Dr. O'Neill to be the Chief Medical Officer, unfortunately we had the beginning of the pandemic. And what a hero she's been, not only through the face of Our Lady of the Lake, but throughout the community and even across the state and even a little bit broader. Her knowledge, being an infectious disease doctor, the ability for her to think in terms in which normal people think, the ability to roll up her sleeves and be able to try to figure out how do we challenge certain problems or certain situations. She's been a master at all those things. And that's what heroes do. They put themselves on the sideline and then they put really their gifts and talents really in the battlefield to take care of whatever is needed at that time. And for us, throughout this community, it was unfortunate for those that had COVID disease, and she's been a remarkable hero.
She is so helpful to the community and to our hospital. We're so blessed to have her as a member of Our Lady of the Lake physician group. I have to share a story with you. One morning I was at the parking garage at the lake. And guess who I ran into? This was early in the morning. Dr. O'Neill and her husband, who was a physician, a very responsible and very wonderful physician also. But this early, they had taken the time to prepare some goodies for our team members. I was so touched that really that this is the hour that they would take the time to reach out. It seemed like a simple thing, but to me it was just says who she is and who her family is. Besides being a wonderful doctor, she's also a wonderful mother. And I know she has the same concerns that our mothers have for their children, for their education, for their health. And we're so blessed to have her, and we invite her, we appreciate her being part of the Franciscan family, and we welcome her, and we're blessed to have her. So, Dr. O'Neill, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we welcome you as our Franciscan sister.
When I think about the hospital and how the hospital has gotten through this, and our team members who have made it happen, a regular day is hard. right? A regular day in the ICU is hard. Death and dying is serious business. And to suddenly stand there in multiple meetings where we said, you know, I know we've talked for years about how we need to agree on who gets admitted and who goes home, but now it's serious. We're going to do this today. And starting today, this is who goes home and who gets admitted. And bringing together huge groups of physicians who have spent years working on things like deciding who goes home and who stays, and not reaching a consensus, reaching it in 12 hours, putting it into motion, keeping people out of the hospital who didn't need to be here, admitting people who do. That was beautiful, and it was actually so easy when it had to be done. I'm so grateful for the groups who just came together to make it happen. It wasn't me. They did that. They said, this is one of the most important things that's going to keep us afloat. We have to do this today. So our ER docs, our hospitalists, our critical care docs, the rapidity in which they just said, we're all in, we're going to get this done, it's just awe-inspiring to me.
And when we go on rounds, our main goal is to make sure that everybody feels like they're accomplishing the same purpose, okay? And so what we like to hear from them, we don't really tell them what to say. What we want to hear is that they treat patients. No matter who they are, they treat patients. So whether it's the pharmacy person or the person who's bringing the meals or the person who cleans the room, we all treat patients. We're all here. We got equal jobs. My job is no more important than your job, and that's what she brings across. She has been able to just have people feel that they're part of the team with Dr. O'Neill. That, you know, there's the pharmacist, the nurse, environmental services. We're all doing it for the same reason. And when we hear that on safety rounds, we know we've done our job, and that's what she's so good at. She's good at having people join her on her team to treat those patients, and that's sort of why she's so good at what she does.
If anybody is deserving of an award, it is people who did that, who worked a hard day, who worked a day that nobody would come back to, and then took an extra shift, not a planned shift, and worked again because we needed them. So I'm just so thankful for everybody who stepped up and took that extra time when we were just so busy that if not, we would have had ambulances stacked up outside and no room for patients. But somebody had to get the work done, and when it comes down to it, we're all doers. And I guess that's the theme, is that I'm just so appreciative for everybody who just said, there's a job to be done, I'm going to do it. And tirelessly, definitely foregoing things that they should have been doing to just get the job done, and they deserve this award. I was training during Katrina, and I learned so much by being in a learning environment at a time of great stress and great turnover of ideas. The way we did things was not the way we did things after that. And I think that the academic environment is so nimble. We're used to learning new things. We're used to having new ideas. We're used to being innovative. That if you don't harness this pandemic to just catapult that innovation, it will be a missed opportunity. And I don't think we're going to miss any opportunities here. So I'm excited about the energy. As a student coming into a learning environment during a pandemic, you have an opportunity that nobody's ever had and will not have again, and that's to embrace this and take advantage of controversy, of difficult times, step up, and you'll get more out of your education than anybody has before. And I think we're already seeing that happen, and those are the kind of things that give me some peace. There's a purpose to this. It's not easy, but we're going to come out better than we were before, and I can already see that.
Well, I can remember one evening watching Dr. O'Neill on television and just being so proud. I mean, she said, this is when the cases of COVID-19 were starting to go back up. And you could feel it in her voice. You could feel it in your soul. She wanted to lead this state back to health. And I was like, wow, I will follow her anywhere. She's like a coach, you know. She's out there telling you what you need to do, and you want to be part of it because you can see it in her eyes. She believes what she's saying. It's in her soul. And so that's why I think she's just so deserving of this award. You have to decide what kind of leader you want to be. And the great news is we have great role models, like Dr. O'Neill, like Dr. Holland, like Brother Ed, and watch how they lead. We're trying to emulate the person who we follow, who we feel a strong bond to. And that's one thing she does. She demonstrates those qualities that St. Francis demonstrated, and that's why she's so good at what she does.
We're always so blessed in our community to be led by the sisters and then use examples of those who come in close contact with the sisters about what we do each and every day. Dr. O'Neill is one of those gifts that we have in our community that has really excelled during this period of time. She has not only been an educator to us as a community, she has not only been a teacher as it relates to our clinicians throughout the organization, but she's also been the voice of what is it that we need to do right? How do we pivot when we learn more information? She's very scientific. She understands how things change, especially during this pandemic. She's been a very close association with the state government, with the Southeast Conference for Football. The list goes on and on. The impact that she's made through the state of Louisiana during this pandemic, I don't think there's anybody else who has done as much as she has for really all of us throughout the state.
And as Franciscans, part of our mission statement is to reach out to those most in need. She is Our Lady of the Lake right now. Everybody looks to her. She shares her knowledge, so she shares it with everyone, and she's well respected by the physicians. She's very courageous. She's very knowledgeable, very humble. As I say, what you see is what you get. She's really genuine, and we're blessed to have her on our team.
Wow, what an amazing testimony. I want to tell you a little bit of breaking news. I was just handed this. We have reached right now in our fundraising $30,996. $30,996. That is pretty awesome, but our goal is $35,000, so we're hoping that you can help us to reach that goal. I am so pleased and honored to be joined back on the stage by Dr. Tina Holland and our award recipient, Dr. Catherine O'Neill. Dr. Holland.
Well, Katie, I am just, again, filled with Franciscan joyfulness of spirit, but also some really genuine humility to be able to present to you this 2020 Franciscan Impact Healthcare Hero Award. Thank you so much for all that you do for the community, for the lake, and what I've learned from you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Holland.
Bless.
Thank you so much. This award is so meaningful this year to me, and it would have been meaningful at any point, but this year's been so interesting and difficult and challenging, and you really have to draw on the spirit of people who have come before you to really understand how to get through something difficult. And St. Francis was a hard worker, but he lived a simple life, and I think that embodies this year for us. We've learned to live simply, to appreciate our family, to appreciate our co-workers, the only people who we came into contact with during stay at home, to appreciate how important it is to have quiet moments, and to learn how to work hard, and to appreciate the value of people who work hard with you. Kristen Gradney, my fellow award recipient this evening, and the work that she's done has been just awe-inspiring. And every team member at the lake, they deserve this award. I am here because they work hard and they inspired me to get through this, and we will get through this with them. So thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I really appreciate the work of our team.
God bless you. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Dr. O'Neill. Please help us to support the future healthcare heroes like Dr. O'Neill by making a gift to FranU in her honor. You can donate by visiting our website, www.franu.edu/Fête. Let us congratulate our honorees tonight by sharing messages with them on our FranU Facebook page. Welcome back. Wally and I are joined by Franciscan Impact Healthcare hero Dr. O'Neill for our last raffle drawing of the night. The last raffle of the night is the big cash prize graciously donated by Whitney Bank in Milton Womack. It is $5,000 in cash. What a prize. I can't wait to see who the lucky winner is of this amazing prize. So Dr. O'Neill, if you will do the honors, pull a name as Wally turns that wheel, and I will announce the winner. Dig deep. And the winner is Sylvia. No, I'm just kidding. Phil Page. Yay, Phil Page. Congratulations, Phil Page. You are the lucky winner of the cash prize of $5,000. And you've got a lot of folks in this room who would love to help you spend that money. A representative from FranU will be calling you tomorrow for details on claiming your prize. All gifts and raffle ticket purchases made to this year's event support student scholarships, which mean more now than ever before. The funds we are raising throughout tonight's event are helping support our future critical healthcare heroes, making an impact in our community like Dr. Catherine O'Neill.
I wear a mask for all my brothers and sisters. It's easy to mask up. Make it a habit.
All right, friends, it's time to mask up. And remember, smile under there, because it can tell in your eyes.
Well, friends, if St. Francis were with us today, he'd probably tell us, cari amici, per tutelare la salute di tutti, wash your hands, wear your mask, and stay 6 feet apart. Mille grazie e buona giornata.
Don't forget to mask up.
So while we're still in the middle of this pandemic, let's look out for each other. Let's be good stewards. Wear your mask, wash your hands, watch your distance. We can still love each other from a distance, and we can still go about our lives, but we have to really be cautious and just look out for our brother and sister, easily by wearing your mask and washing your hands.
There's so many things that we can do to get through this, to be able to take advantage of the things that the pandemic's going to be able to show us, to be able to just continue our normal life, which we so desperately need. Social distancing, wiping down shared surfaces, washing our hands, helping others do the same. And the most important thing that we can do every single day and every single moment is mask up. We're going to make it. Just doing those simple things.
We have been challenged back in March and April. We had almost 250 patients of COVID within the organization. We went down to 17. Memorial Day hit. We then started to creep back up, and we actually hit over 125. And as we're coming back down right now, we really don't know how low will we go, and more importantly, when will this end, if this will end. And one thing we do recognize, there's simple things that we should all do. We all know washing our hands, making sure that we're very distant from each other, being within 6 feet. And really the number one thing that they said is that we all have to mask up. And there's nothing wrong with actually having covering, because not only do you help yourself, but more importantly, you help your neighbors, you help those that you have to be in a little bit closer contact. So make sure everybody today and going forward, mask up. And go FranU.
What I'd like to say to those who have donated to the scholarship fund is just thank you. It's really meant a lot to me. I know you've invested in me, and I plan on returning that investment one day. So thank you so much. You've really given me an opportunity to grow and learn and become a man, not just a nurse. So thank you.
You're contributing to the lifelong formation of the students here. So, for instance, there are some students who come, they graduate, and they have 5 to 10 years of working and of course, you graduated, but also just like paying off like lots of student loans and debt. Whereas I'm super thankful for me, like I can graduate and go straight into grad school because I don't have to pay off undergraduate loans. And that's something that really changes the course of my life, my career. It impacts that experiences here in the undergraduate going through college, but the long-term effects last for the rest of our adult lives. So I'd say thank you first and gratitude just for everything that you're supporting us. I mean, we as students need all the support that we can get. And then, yeah, just thank you, and thank you for all the support that you can give us.
I would like to thank those who have donated to student scholarships and helped me in my journey. Getting the scholarship really had an impact on my life because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to come to FranU from a financial standpoint.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because without it, like I said, I don't think I'd be getting as much as I needed to school-wise. I'd be working a lot more. I probably would have had to spread out my classes a lot more. Which means that I most likely wouldn't be starting nursing in the spring because I did have to change my major, so I would have to add a few classes on, and it would have been a whole mess. So having this scholarship just, it means a lot.
Let us pray. Loving God, O divine teacher, as this evening festivities and honors come to a close, we thank you, Lord, for the generosity and support of all who have joined us in this evening celebration of Franciscan University. We leave this evening more aware and enthusiastic for FranU because of the wise leadership and dedicated teachers who work to fulfill our goal to educate and form our students into skilled healthcare workers, wise citizens, and leaders, each with the heart of a servant. May the honored teachers, students, and dedicated administrators we have witnessed this evening fill us with a renewed dedication to sustain this bright light of hope in our community, especially in this time when our hope is so deeply challenged. May your divine assistance bless the mission of this university with success, and may our students, formed in the spirit of St. Francis' prayer, be sent into the world as instruments of your peace, skilled to heal where there is injury, able to witness wisdom and hope where there is despair, and do this with a love that knows that it is in giving that we receive. We pray this through our Savior, who is love and lives forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you so much for attending Fête des Fidèles Goes Virtual. And it is not too late to support student scholarships. You can visit our website at www.franu.edu/Fête. We hope to see you again next year. On behalf of FranU, we want to thank you for joining us and have a wonderful evening. Good night.